With a 5.5 rating on IMDB and abysmally low scores on Rotten Tomatoes, I went into this movie with arms crossed, fully expecting to hate it. And I didn't. I know that Will Ferrell is past his prime and his glory days are likely over. But Reese Witherspoon, on the other hand, she never really fizzled out. She's always remained relevant in some way or another, and both stars do carry the weight of this film equally. And that's not to say that this is a deep or heavy film, but you know what I mean. They both put in the work to make this film work. Judging the ridiculously corny poster, I fully expected to laugh maybe once or twice in this entire movie, but I actually found myself laughing throughout. And trust me, I am not an impartial judge when it comes to comedies. There are literally like 10 or maybe 12 movies I would actually consider true bona fide laugh out loud comedies. Everything else in the comedy genre, they're just aspiring comedies, I guess. Now, this movie isn't going to turn Will Ferrell's career around, and in fact, when you look at the scores of this movie, it's probably why he's back to doing PayPal commercials.
Just getting glammed up for a commercial.
The best way to go into this movie is to expect a little bit of Father of the Bride, a little bit of Sweet Home Alabama, completely coated with not so subtle Will Ferrell humor. One complaint I do have about this film is that halfway through, it started getting very jarring, going from one extreme to the other, being like you've got like this funny set piece where all the jokes are flying, and then they try to go for the like those sweet, tender, sappy moments, and it just kind of becomes a pinball game where you're just bouncing back and forth from one to the other, like the director just didn't know what kind of film he wanted to plant his stake on. Maybe I was in a good mood when I watched this. I don't know. But it did take about 20 minutes for me to uncross my arms. For a while there, I thought that this was going to be the kind of movie that just coasts on like bad words. It kind of starts out that way, but it actually does go into deliveries and punchlines as the movie goes on. So, for your Cordially Invited, I highly recommend you download this movie immediately and watch it. If for nothing else, just to see Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon outdo Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers with the cover of Islands in the Stream.